Deep in the Indian Ocean, there is an island where time has stood still for over 60,000 years, not protected by walls, not hidden by design, but defended by something far more direct, a rain of lethal arrows. This is North Sentinel Island. And while the rest of the world has become hyper-connected, this place has done the opposite. It has remained invisible by choice. Every known approach to it triggers the same response: immediate resistance. No greeting. No warning system that can be decoded, only rejection. And that creates a paradox the modern world struggles to classify. Because is this violence primitive instinct? Or is it something far more calculated? A survival strategy so consistent, it has lasted longer than most recorded civilizations. And if that is true, then the question is no longer about the island. It becomes about us. What did we choose to become that they chose to avoid entirely? Contact with this island has never followed normal human patterns. There is no gradual acceptance, no exchange phase, no transition into communication. Every known approach to North Sentinel Island collapses at the same threshold: proximity. From a distance, the island appears still, almost peaceful, but as vessels move closer, the reaction becomes immediate. Not curiosity, not hesitation, but a defensive response that activates before understanding can form. Arrows launched from unseen positions, warnings that cannot be translated, signals that exist only as refusal. And this is where the modern framework begins to fail, because most systems engagement is inevitable. Here, engagement is actively prevented. Not once, but consistently across recorded encounters, which raises a difficult contradiction. If contact is universally rejected, then rejection itself becomes the system. Across documented history, there is no deviation in response. No recorded phase of openness, no long-term shift toward interaction, only repetition. Approach, resistance, withdrawal, and again, approach, resistance, withdrawal. This is not randomness, it is structure. And structure implies stability, which introduces an uncomfortable possibility. What if what appears as isolation is actually a highly preserved behavioral system, not evolving toward integration with the outside world, but maintaining a fixed internal boundary across generations? In most human societies, change is expected, change is absent, and absence itself becomes the defining feature. Because when a system does not evolve outward, it evolves inward. From the outside, the interpretation is immediate. Isolation is framed as vulnerability, distance is framed as backwardness, resistance is framed as aggression. But these interpretations rely on one assumption, that contact is beneficial. History complicates that assumption, because in many first contact scenarios across the world, the arrival of outside systems has not led to stability. It has led to disruption, disease, collapse of internal structure, irreversible change. So the island's behavior begins to look different under a different lens, not as hostility toward outsiders, but as a complete refusal to participate in a system that historically destabilizes everything it touches. Which reframes the question entirely: is this isolation protecting them from the world, or protecting the world from entering them? And this is where interpretation breaks down completely. Because the most difficult part is not the arrows, not the silence, not the refusal to communicate. It is the consistency. A society that has maintained separation while the world transformed around it. The cities rose, languages merged, borders shifted, systems interconnected, and yet this island remained unchanged in its response. So the question stops being historical, it stops being anthropological, and becomes something more personal. If a society can survive without adapting to the modern world, then what exactly defines progress? And what defines survival? Drop your thoughts and like this video resonates with you, because in the end, the most unsettling idea is not that the island is dangerous, it is that it does not need us at all. Some stories don't end when the video ends, they stay with you. If you're drawn to historical anomalies, unexplained contradictions, and true stories that feel impossible to process, this channel only gets stranger.